So I've become very intrigued with the Mutant Year Zero engine, and Free League sent me GenLab Alpha, which think Rocket Raccoon and the Guardians of the Galaxy. But before we get to that, by the way, very nice book, and I will do an unboxing, they asked if I wanted to see Vaesen as well. And think Arkham Horror, but with Swedish folklore. Sure, I'd love to take a look at it. Everything else you're doing with the Mutant Year Zero engine is awesome. But I was a little unsure of this Swedish folklore-ish Arkham Horror style game. This book is phenomenal. First of all, it's got like a linen finish on it that makes it just feel very deluxe. Everything is extremely nicely done. Right down to there is a ribbon, and even the way, I don't know what this is, but the way the pages slide over, it just felt very deluxeified. I was actually very surprised by this book. So you move from that into, nothing on the inside layer here, but the clean layout, the beauty of the austere style just struck me. Now, I'm not going to go page by page. I'm probably going to go chapter by chapter. But kudos to the illustrators. Kudos to the graphic design, Dan Augstrand and Christian Granoff, because I have just been enamored with the thickness and linen kind of feel of the paper. The beautiful, clean layout, which you're going to see the little, like, teasing hints of art as you roll through, pencil art, and then you'll get these gorgeous full pager, we'll call them full pagers. And then again, you see the nod back to the pencil art in a very 1910 kind of style feel, but again, that beautiful, clean layout. And I can't tell you how much these thick pages, these thick pieces of paper make this such a deluxe product, a deluxe book. A wonderful intro to what Vaesen is. I knew it was Swedish folklore, which I'll admit kind of had me not so interested, because I'm like, Swedish folklore. I can barely handle my own folklore, Bigfoot or whatever. But again, it just draws you in. So I'm going to flip through these first pages. Of course, you have what is a role-playing game, but you also get Vaesen in a nutshell. Later on in the book, you'll get a very detailed description of Vaesen, again with the beautiful art. You also get explained that the Vaesen roll from everything from folklore creatures that want to be evil or believe in Satan and are enacting that, to creatures that lean more towards the Christian side of things and work on that, and how there is a priest character in here, and how the belief that character, or you playing that character, has in the crucifix ends up making it a very valuable weapon against the evil or demonic Vaesen. So you get into these wonderful description of what the Vaesen are and what the mythos is that you're diving into, and all at the same time you're getting beautiful art like this with a unbelievably clean and art-like style of presentation. Again, back to this wonderful art. Now I'm going to start skipping from chapter to chapter. I'm not going to go page by page. It's quite a thick book and enjoyable just to thumb through. So let me start skipping ahead. As is typical for me, I've gone one page, and then there were some charts, and I wanted to show you even the layout of the charts. This talks about equipment and mementos. The other really nice thing that you should be used to from the Mutant Year Zero engine is you will have a headquarters here. In Mutant Year Zero, it was an arc, or your base, or whatever you want to call it, but you'll have a headquarters. It's a headquarters in a style. We will flip through the different characters you can inhabit. It's a headquarters in the style of the early 1900s. You can have a library. You could have a wine cellar. There's some very cool things. Again, we're looking at private detective or servant. These again are characters that you can, archetypes you can inhabit, the vagabond, the writer. And again, with the very nice artwork. We'll talk about skills in here, then they will move over to your talents. And again, you can just see the same presentation throughout. So here's some of the talents that list. I haven't read through everything. I thumbed through it very quickly. It did not come in shrink wrap. And I ended up deciding to do the unboxing of this before I even came back and did the unboxing of this, which is what I'd planned on doing, just to show the aesthetic style of this book. So you get into conflict and injuries. Again, I will skip forward. Love it. Slow action, typical fast actions. Physical critical injuries, and then you're going to have mental critical injuries. Here's the society and the headquarters. So the headquarters that you will end up inhabiting, your base, your ark, your haven that you will be operating from. Perfect. So just to pop in and show, again, some of the themes or some of the rooms you can have in your headquarters. An observatory, a kennel, a library. It could be local tavern, map room, stable, shooting range, seance parlor, who would have thought, pigeon loft, weapons quarter, workshop, and then you can even discover different facilities that may have been hidden behind a bookcase or a garden that's been neglected, and it turns out there's an entire botanical garden in there. So you can see dungeon, chapel, cellar, vault. You get into casts of characters, NPCs, but again, I can't tell you enough how much the headquarters. I wanted to just go in and create a headquarters and kind of get an idea real quick, but I'm still getting ready for Twilight 2000 Season 2. Look for that in the Orphan soon. So you get into the Mythical North. Again, I'm going to flip through several pages and chapters. Once again, I say that, we get to a map, a breakdown of the Vaesen, explanations of Vaesen and humans, enchantments playing characters that are using magic. You get to see some items of power and some magic items. The Ash Tree Wife. I love the Brook Horse, the Brook Horse. I'm going to show one more and then I'll skip ahead. A Sea Serpent, and again, you're seeing it's the exact same. So this is chapter 8, but you're always getting the title. Some things that look almost handwritten, the beautiful artwork, and then the breakdown and the charts. And chapter 9, the mystery. So again, you're always seeing that full page art, just gorgeous style, and then a breakdown that a big part of this game is solving the mystery. It's a cross between the Arkham Horror and the Sherlock Holmes, with the Vaesen mythical creatures from a folklore I have never really been exposed to, which is extremely interesting. So the Dance of the Dreams is the introductory mystery. Now again, I'm going to move through these pretty quick. Just some things to point out. Not only do you have the setup with the prelude and some of the map, but you even get a content warning up here. So in this mystery, in case you weren't sure what was about to happen, there's going to be violence and death. It could be self-harm, suicide, child harm, and mind control. Now, I don't know what this is exactly about. I don't want to spoil anything. They do tell you, I can't remember if it's on the back cover or if it's in the inside as you start, that the book's really designed for adults. And if you are going to play with kids, that the game runner will need to modify some things according to the age of your kids or the maturity level, or to just round off the corners. So of course, whoever's running it can, make it more of a scary monster under the bed rather than, I don't know, demon possessing a child. I don't know. I haven't read through this. But again, getting that content warning is just a nice thing to take a look at. I actually like that little touch. Just again, real quick, the maps that look very period-esque. So chapter 11, we get into background tables, and I'll flip through a few of these. Uprising worker, aristocrat, professions, some life event tables, and copies of your character sheet, again done in that kind of period style. And then a very nice index and the back cover. What's also interesting is when I first got it, this book, although thinner, feels heavier. For some reason this feels a little bit lighter. I think it's because the pages, the paper's actually this thick, fancy style, so I believe even though it looks like it's a thicker book, this is a little more dense. However, everything you get here is just, you know, that linen finish. I'll see if I can get a photo in that'll show it. It just feels fancy. It feels artistic, put together in a way that is just pleasing to the touch, right down to the art, the layout, and the ribbon. Vaesen. Wow.